Hello class, this is Demetrius Wilson. At the end of the chapter in human relations, there are often, not often, but always, the strategy for success and also the chapter summary. And typically won't get all the way to do that, especially on an on-campus class. But for extra credit for those of you who are new to this textbook, will be available for this. And for those of you who've taken my course before, this will be a requirement that you write a synopsis on there. But I'll point that out and I'll put that in the instructions as well. So strategies for success, these are great and they work really well for your business environment, scholastic environment, personal environment, anything. We can all take good notes from this. Like I say, any class that I teach, I always go over certain things and say, you know what, I should be doing that myself. So number one is develop your self-esteem. Two, develop your self-awareness. Three, develop trust. Four, learn to self-disclose. And five, cultivate mutual respect. And we'll go through those one by one. And although these are big tasks, they can be achieved by anyone who has a clear understanding of human relations, right? We wrap all of these things together and then we say this is what you should be doing in order to be successful in work, in business, in personal relationships, and in life. So number one, it says develop your self-esteem. So it says first you must develop your self-esteem. Self-esteem can be encouraged or damaged very early in life. And some people who have self-esteem problems do not even realize it, right? So this all starts at childhood. It starts early on in life. If you have children, you definitely need to pump up and encourage them to have high self-esteem so that they're successful later on in life as well. However, no matter what your age or self-esteem level, you can always learn to like yourself more. And I've definitely learned some things along the way. Had a different conception when I was a child, and now things have become much more clear. Chapter 2 will cover self-esteem in great detail. Yes, it definitely does. And provide tips on how you can build your own self-esteem. Have some videos posted on that as well. But definitely, those are some key facts that you can use. So many things in human relations are attached to your self-esteem. So number two, develop your self-awareness. You have to know who you are. Without self-awareness, you will find it hard to develop self-esteem or any other issues that are important to successful human relations. This is because you must know yourself before you can value yourself highly and express yourself honestly to others. You have to understand yourself. You have to understand what makes you tick, what motivates you, things of that nature. You'll understand yourself and you understand other people's reaction to you much better when you understand yourself. You will learn more about how to develop self-awareness in Chapter 3. And I love how the book kind of breaks it down. I've always been a fan of this textbook that they go, okay, Chapter 2, this is what we're going to kind of key in on self-esteem. In Chapter 3, we're going to key in on the self-awareness. I love how the book flows. Number 3, develop trust with yourself and with others. Without adequate self-esteem, you will find it difficult to trust. With trust, however, you will find that your relationship will grow deep and meaningful, and that you'll be able to tell people what's in your gut without unnecessary fear. Right? So you'll be able to be open and honest with people. Develop trust. We trust each other. It's a mutual relationship. Let me tell you, how I'm feeling, and hopefully we can discuss it and come to some type of a mutual agreement and enhance our relationship going forward. Learn to self-disclose, and I have a video posted about this, and it's really interesting. Whether you're at a business convention or you're out somewhere and you're attempting to talk or befriend somebody, these tips definitely work with self-disclosure. It says, as you develop trust, you will be able to disclose more about yourself. Self-disclosure and trust are areas you can develop simultaneously. As you learn to self-disclose appropriately, you will develop deeper trust in your relationship. Chapter 3 will cover self-disclosure in greater detail. Very good tips that you can use, whether it be in the workplace, as always, personal life, scholastic life, everything, it all applies. You want to cultivate mutual respect. Developing trust will lead to mutual respect as you forge relationships that are based on honesty. You will learn more about talking from your gut, also called self-disclosure, right? Talk from your gut. Tell people exactly how you feel. Now, don't be that individual that I just say what's on my mind, right? There's certain, things that you should say, certain things that you shouldn't say. You have to use some common sense in regards to that. Also, very much so in the business place, So strategy 1.2, build your communication skills. Learn to communicate honestly, learn what effective communication is and how to develop the skill, and know what you are communicating to others by increasing your self-awareness. All great tips. Know what you are communicating to others by your nonverbal signals, right? So if I say, I really like you, and cross my arms and make a funny face, you're going to trust those nonverbal signals that I really don't like you. Learn to deal effectively with conflict. And human relations, hey, if you learn anything, definitely learn how to deal with conflict. I deal with a lot of conflict on a day-to-day basis. A lot of it I say is very unnecessary, but you know what? Conflict is here. Go ahead and embrace it, take it, and make it your own. Don't run away from it. Don't shy away from it, because conflict's always going to be there. And you know what? You're always going to be there to deal with it effectively and be successful. Be a successful manager in the marketplace. So number one, you want to learn to communicate honestly. When you communicate honestly by learning to say what you feel, by establishing trust, and by using effective and appropriate self-disclosure, your listeners will learn to respect and trust you more. I respect what he says. He's never led me astray. He's never led me wrong. He's always been open, honest, and clear. Number two, learn what effective communication is and how to develop this skill. Effective communications is communicating so that your listener receives the message you intend to send. Well, some people say, oh, well, communication is just me talking. If I'm talking to you right now and you're not understanding what I'm saying or the message I'm trying to relay, then communication has not occurred. That would be miscommunication. Takes two to tango. When you use honesty and appropriate self-disclosure, you state your message in a clear way that shows high self-esteem. You will send your message more effectively. Number three, know what you are communicating to others. By increasing your self-awareness, if you have low self-awareness, you may communicate so that your true meaning is unclear. You don't want to be unclear. You want to be crystal clear in regards to what you're attempting to say. By working on your self-awareness, you will improve your communication skill. And number four, know what you are communicating to others by your nonverbal skills. If you give nonverbal signals that are unintended, your message will be different from what you expect. This can lead to confusion and mistrust. Nonverbal communication is covered in more detail in Chapter 6. Great thing to pay attention to. Watch people's nonverbal signals, and you'll understand exactly how they feel. And number five, learn to deal effectively with conflict. Effective communication involves the ability to deal with conflict. Chapter 11 will show you how to deal with conflict to restore trust and mutual respect. Now, I also have a couple videos on conflict and how you should deal with it and how you shouldn't deal with it as well, which may be even more important. So chapter one summary, and I'll get through as much as this to help you guys. You'll watch it as well to help you before you take the test and take any quizzes. So chapter one summary says define human relations. So whatever direction your life takes, whether you become a manager, entrepreneur, or an employee, you will always have to deal with other people. Deal with it. You have to deal with other people. You're going to work with them for the rest of your life. Learn how to get along and deal with them. And human relation skills will be essential. Human relations is a skill or ability to work effectively with and through other people. Not to manipulate them, but work through them because they're the people that report to you and you say, this is what I need for you to do. You want to explain the importance of human relations in business. Human relations skills are especially important today for several reasons. Greater awareness of human rights, right? Legal lawsuits, litigation. Current fluctuations in international markets. Have to learn how to deal with people internationally and abroad. A growing emphasis on human resource in companies, right? Again, back to the litigation. Current emphasis on teamwork. If you notice, like in high school, some of you guys are fresh out of high school. A lot of high schools have 4 desks and 2 people on one side, 2 people on the other side, and they're looking right at each other. Well, they're encouraging teamwork and they're putting emphasis on teamwork because everybody's going to get out of school and they're going to go to college and they're going to work in teams and they're going to go to work and they're going to work in teams. Teams, teams, teams. And increase diversity in the workplace. A lot of different types of people that you see, and it's good to have diversity, right? So I always tell people, I'm sure somebody that's from North Dakota didn't think up Tapatio Doritos, right? You have diversity, then you have more skill to have more products within your business. Discuss the challenges of human relations as these factors affect success in business. Today's problem make workplace survival an even greater challenge. Increase workplace competition. The rise of the dual career family, like the husband and the wife both have to work. The divorce rate, right? That's something that affects the family drastically. And the problem of two generations of dependence, that's the sandwich generation, right? You're a baby boomer and you're taking care of your parents and you're also taking care of your children and you're stuck in the middle and you definitely can't retire because you have to take care of everybody. All these factors increase personal stress and complicate the issues of human relations. And we have some great videos throughout the course on stress that will show you how to deal with, how to cope and manage that stress. There are certain stressors that are good, like eustress, right? You're about to catch the game-winning pass. That's eustress. That's good stress. Make that adrenaline come out and make sure that you perform at the height of your ability. But that distress is sitting in traffic every single day. So you can figure out alternative ways to deal with certain things. Like me, I put on some mood music so I can relax, trying not to relax too much, right? Not at least not on the road. Uh, you want to identify what the study of human relations does not include, right? You see the not in italics. Skill in human relations does not mean being phony or manipulative, right? You learn all these things, say, "Oh, Demetrius Wilson taught me all this good stuff. Then I should use these things to manipulate people." No, you shouldn't use them to manipulate people. It is neither a quick fix nor a cure-all, and it is not just common sense. There is a science to it. It is a skill area that is learnable through growth and continues for a lifetime. I don't know everything about human relations. Every time I teach this class and read this book over and over again, I learn something new. Describe the areas of emphasis for human relations in today's workplace. The main areas of human relations are self-esteem, mutual respect, self-awareness, and self-disclosure, communication skill, group dynamics, and motivation. And last but not least, discuss a short history of human relations. So starting with the scientific managers in the early part of the century and finding a focal point of the Hawthorne experiment. Remember, if you pay attention to people, they're going to do better and be more productive. And the human relations movement began in the 1800s and spanned the entire 20th century and is continuing on now. Names to remember include Robert Owen, Andrew Max Weber, Frederick Taylor, Frank and Lillian Gilbreth, Mary Parker Follett, and Elton Mayo. In 1960, Douglas McGregor wrote about Theory X and Theory Y managers, right? So, as I always say, don't just be Theory X and don't just be Theory Y. Be the best combination of those two types of managers, showing the latter as both more effective and more humane. Well, that's it going through the chapter summary. So for those of you who I direct to this portion to either do extra credit, or those of you who it is a required assignment, watch the video and then there will be instructions on that as well. As always, have a good day and a great week.